Maybe some of you already know us, but we are a website and we are dealing with entertainment and recommendations. So I'm very honored to be here, and I thank Simon for inviting me. So what is SensCritique? SensCritique is an entertainment database. You can find nearly any movies you can know about on SensCritique, but also any TV shows, any video games, books, comics, music albums, music tracks, and everything. And if it is not on the website, you can add it yourself, so please go check it out. But we are also a virtual library, in the sense that users can sign up, and once they've signed up, they can rate movies, for example, but they can also review them, add them to a wish list for future reference, and they can list movies, that is to say, create a collection of products. And finally, we are a social network. So users, once signed up, they can follow each other, they can like each other's activity, comment them, they can recommend product to each other. So that's how we built SensCritique. So database, virtual library, and a social network. What does that do? Discovery engine. What I wanted to stress on in this presentation is that the recommendation has only sense for SensCritique taken as a whole. But actually, if you look closely at each one of these components, you can see that the database itself can be a discovery tool, the virtual library can be a discovery tool, and the social network can be a discovery tool. So, about the figure about SensCritique, so we have 40 million products, 600,000 registered users to this date, 55 million ratings, and 1.5 million lists. It's a collection of products. So that's a lot of data. We are actually the first community for cinema in French language, and the first one for entertainment as a whole, as we know. So how we make it work? That's me, hard at work. So basically, I want to give you a broad overview of what is SensCritique and what we do. So I won't delve too much into technical details, but don't hesitate to ask me anything. So as I said, we are an entertainment database. So I took a screenshot of the page of Hugh Laurie, the famous Dr. House actor that you probably know. And you can see that he's the actor of Dr. House, so a TV show, but he's also a movie actor, he's also a book author, a musical artist. You have his main piece of work also on the page. So it is very important to us that there are no boundaries between the various worlds of entertainment. Probably if you watch movie, you also listen to music, you also watch TV shows, and we take all of this as a whole. There are no boundaries, and that's the key definition of SensCritique. We have also extensive cinema, TV, and VOD show times. So it is very important to us also that SensCritique be the continuity of what you already know. So if you already go to cinema, or if you already watch TV, you will find those show times on SensCritique, and they will be enhanced by another key feature of SensCritique, which is our rating. So each movie, each TV show, and everything is rated on a scale from 1 to 10. And for example, you can see that today on the TV channel Action, the movie Das Boot was showing, and it's an excellent movie according to our community. So you missed it, but Sunday you have Les Tontons Flingueurs on France 2, another very good movie. And finally, we are a graph database too. So that means that, for example, I went to the Dark Knight Rises, the movie page, and we can show you that we have also the page for the soundtrack on the website, and we can also have a page for the franchise of Batman. So those are the two prequels, but we have also the Tim Burton movie, for example, the comics, the games of Batman. Once again, it's very important for us that everything is linked. Our analytics have shown us that this is a very efficient way of discovery for user actually. we attribute that to 3 psychological factors. The first one being the serendipity. So probably if you've seen the Dark Knight Rises, the movie, you have an idea about the soundtrack, and probably you've seen the previous 2 movies. So it's really easy to navigate, wander between work on our website, and it works very well, and it's a form of recommendation per se actually. And the other 2 are, we have familiar cues, as I said. So probably if you go to the Batman, so Dark Knight Rises page, you will recognize the Batman franchise, so it's something you already know, so you are quite at ease when you go to SensCritique, and the same for TV and cinema once again. So you will find familiar notions. That's a psychological notion known as familiarity heuristic. So you tend to be more confident in doing an action on a website or anywhere if you're already familiar with the notions presented. We are also a virtual library, and we have very enthusiastic members. This is one of our key members. So as you can see, he has rated 5,000 movies and 4,000 comics, and he's really, we met him. And he did also almost 3,000 lists of products. So we are very enthusiastic members. So that allows us to have right now, as I said, 55 million of ratings on our website. So that makes us the first French community. So we have a lot of data to play with. Thanks to that, we make, as I said, the rating for each product. So for movie, for TV show, and everything. And we do also product recommendation in the classical sense. Our previous stack was this one that you're probably familiar with. So each night we dump into a CSV flat file all of our ratings and all of our wishes. I used a simple algorithm, simple rule, which was that if someone put a movie, for example, in his wish list, I transformed it in a rating, between 5 and 10 with some jittering. But it worked very well. And so we dump everything in a CSV flat file, and we feed that into LensKit. So that's our tool of choice. We are very lucky at SensCritique because we have a very classical data model, which is basically user ID, product ID, and a rating from 1 to 10. So when what you see in the getting started documentation in general, so that's us. So we're very lucky. We can try things very quickly and with very fast results. And so we feed that into LensKit. So and in the end, we just populate a MySQL database with 50 recommendations for each user for each world. So for movies, TV shows, and everything. And in the end, it can be queried on the fly with a simple select with no join and nothing. So it's very fast. The big drawback is it is a very extensive operation because all our rating and all our wish, we are more than 100 million of lines. So it takes up a lot of RAM because it's not a distributed computing. It takes a lot of CPU. It's at the same time each night, so we know that our servers are eating up at that time, and so we have to do something because we are growing, obviously. Our current recommendation engine stack is the following. We are currently rolling it out, but we are very happy with our first results. It's streamlined. So what we do is that we tie our engine's logs in real time, and we send the product page view in real time to a prediction.io event server. I don't know if you know prediction.io, but basically it's a stack of application. It's hosted on a Spark cluster actually, and you send events in the real time, and the data model is constantly updated. So you don't have this point of failure at one point in the night where you have to send all your events. And we have also webhooks in the same fashion that when someone rates a movie or adds it to a wish list, we send it's a JSON to the creation.io server, which compute then, which produce then recommendation engine, and that's really interesting. It's hosted on a Elasticsearch cluster. So the very interesting thing is that we can now do live boosting during querying. This is to say, you will ask for recommendation for a given user, but you will say, I will try to. You probably all tried once Elasticsearch, but you can know that you can boost specific field with arbitrary constants. So you can do that with, for example, .io stack. That is to say, I want the recommendation for the user 22, but I want to boost the genre, or the year, or the nationality, something like that. So you can prototype very, very rapidly your ID, and actually even in real time. So you can A/B test also really easy stack. So we are also a social network, like I said, and we use social recommendation at two levels: direct and aggregated. Direct, because, like I said, once you sign up on SensCritique, you can choose people to follow, and once you do that, you get a live update on their entertainment activity in Facebook or Twitter fashion. So, for example, that's the latest activity on my feed, and I can see that one of the people I follow rated very well to music track, sorry, and another rated averagely to video game. But you may also be given direct recommendation. So once you have chosen someone to follow, he can send you a recommendation of a movie you like particularly, or a TV show, for example. And that's a very efficient way of recommendation, actually. One of the most efficient if we take into account the click-through ratio measure, because you have a lot of confidence into someone you know. So this confidence, even if the movie maybe is not fit for you, you will tend to to click on the movie and check it out. And it's very important for us for the user to be active on the website. So that's something we want to encourage, and that's why we also made user recommendation engine. So basically, when you have rated enough movies or TV show on SensCritique, you can get similar users to you. Once again, since we have a very classical data model, so product ID, user ID, product ID, and rating, you can see that in 2 lines of code we made user recommendation engine. So basically, we use the Mahout this time. And you can see that we load the model with this CSV once again. We asked to compute the Tanimoto coefficient similarity, which is like the Jacquard coefficient, if you know it. Basically, it's the intersection of the two collections divided by the union of the two collections. So it's very simple. And in the end, we have the whole list of neighborhoods for a given user. So it works very well. You can check it out once again if you have an account of SensCritique. And we will try to push even more this feature, because we noticed that people are very trustworthy with people they follow and they get followed back. That's another psychological factor. And yeah, so this is a online recommendation system this time. So we built a simple web service served on Glassfish. And this model is also updated constantly on once there are enough new connection made on the website. So it's really straightforward. You can also get aggregated recommendation. So once a member has enough people he follows, he can notice that a subgroup, for example, of member did the same action on a product, and we stress on that visually. So you can see that 3 of the people I follow did something on 10 Cloverfield Lane, a recent movie. So it will attract my attention, and I will tend to go and visit the page. It works also very well And what we will try is that we will try to transition from a live feed, that's what we do right now, it's really close to Twitter, to a story wall, rather similar to Facebook, for example, where we can choose what you show and what you don't show. We have a live feed, chronological, when we show everything. We can stress on some element, but we have to display everything. So that's a big limitation we have. So we are working hard right now to try and hide some updates not relevant and to stress a lot on interesting events. That's our current challenge. And we also have polls. We design polls in order to get thematic, community-driven recommendation. Polls are like that. We ask our users what are for you the best movie who talk about censorship, and each user is free to answer the most iconic movie he can think about which deals about censorship. So for example, the first one is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which had been in fact censored in the 70s in the US. So that's a form of recommendation if you are, for example, really interested in censored movie, I don't know, but shocking movie maybe, or disturbing movie. So you have this kind of poll. And what is interesting is that you can so get recommendation fueled by two forces. First, the community choice, so how the poll results, what are the poll results, or how we did the how does it reply the question we asked and everything, and also their own activity. Because, for example, if you watch 4 or top 15 Western movies, we will tend to show you these polls, show you the results, and ask you what do you think about the other 11. And that's also a very, very effective recommendation tool that we have and that we are also stressing a lot on. The result of the poll, to be quick, they are not just an aggregation of the results. We use two things. We use the popularity of the movie and we use the knowledge of the user. So a user with a lot of ratings, we have more weight. And on the contrary, a movie with few ratings, we have more weight because it will tend to be thought about more relatively to its popularity. So that's, for example, an example of the hidden algorithm in SensCritique. So in conclusion, I want to stress on the fact that SensCritique, from its deep origins, has been a product discovery tool as a whole. The database itself, as you said, is comprehensive, is graph-oriented, and we insist a lot on the fact that everything is linked. So if you are interested in the movie, we can show you all the strong, objective links about the movies, about this movie. So it's easy to check them out, to take advantage of serendipity to check them and everything. It's not something we push, but it's something we show and we stress on. So in a way, it's from our recommendation. We are also a virtual library, so we are a tool for the user to keep memory of his entertainment history, and we encourage a lot rating. So we have a lot of rating. As I said, we have more ratings than anyone for the movie in France, and that help us to generate a recommendation engine, for example. But we have also a very recognized rating for our movies or albums or comics. We are widely regarded as the cinephile website, so we are proud of that actually. And finally, we did a social network, so we foster a lot of social activity between our members. We are proud of our community. We have very good quality reviews, and we believe also that these social activities help a lot for recommendation even if we can't control it so well, but we know that it's effective, so we push it. And so we strongly believe that this is the combination of these three factors that made SensCritique what it is today. That is to say, a tool that can offer both a tailored and a global recommendation for our audience. That is SensCritique, so thank you very much. If you have questions, I'll be happy to reply.